alerts. So,
I can't hear y'all for some
I
reason.
can't.
Now that we live, this is some bullshit.
Oh, we can hear you now.
I can't hear y'all. I can't hear shit.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Let
Hmm.
me turn this shit up.
take them headphones out, man.
Let me turn these motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
Then
take them
I
out.
wanna. And my old ass
Disconnect.
ain't. My old
Disconnect. Cause he has AirPods and them mine do that shit too, yo. You put them in your ears and expect sound
Uh-huh.
to come out. Don't nothing come
Why?
out. I have to restart the whole phone, disconnect them from the phone. It's a bunch of bullshit, man.
You talking about? Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Can you
the
hear us
one
now?
with the. Yeah.
It
I
was
had to
it's
turn
your
the Bluetooth
AirPods.
off. I had to turn the Bluetooth
It's
off.
your AirPods. Mine do the same shit. Mine
You
do
said
the
what?
same shit. It's some days they work fine, and then the next day I have to unpair them from my phone, restart the phone, and then reconnect them from work. It's
Look,
at least
I
once a
got
week,
these because I know I
like
need to
clockwork.
use headphones, and I be sounding low on the show. So I got these because I knew they would pick up better. And now these motherfuckers don't want to let me hear y'all. That's some bullshit. So I was a struggle.
It's
But
a
we
once a
here.
week affair with y'all.
AirPods cost way too much money for them to be giving y'all
And they have
problems
the
like
kind of
this.
problems they do. Exactly. I'm mad.
Right.
That's why I'm glad I got them off a booster, because otherwise I would be mad at her.
Man, honestly, it don't really. I don't know. Well, maybe I just don't know the right people in Vegas, but I don't. It don't be boosters out here like that.
Girls don't boost
What?
like they used to. The girls don't
They
boost like
really
that.
don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
it's like boosting went to the wayside when niggas said it ain't tricking if you got it. Boosting went away because niggas was tricking and they became the new boosters. Niggas
I don't
became new
know. Like,
boosters.
Because they had a trick for the bitches.
Yeah, and then women started taking over, and now there's no need. They don't have to boost because women in the lead. Niggas need to start
Mm-hmm.
boosting. Niggas need to
yeah,
baby
they
boy
don't
the shit
boost.
out the shit. Go
They
in there.
don't boost like they used to. Like you
Yeah.
used to get a booster wish list. Like now you have to
Like
like
you could literally hand them a piece of paper, and by the end of the week, they would have all of that shit for you.
Yep. Yep. Give
It
them
was
half up front,
amazing.
half
The
later.
'90s was
amazing time for
crime.
boosting.
Look,
Crimes.
you had
Scam.
niggas
Like
still boosting.
everybody trying to bring back the fashion of the '90s, and all that's cool, but like bring back boosting, like.
Yeah.
Bring back the scams. Bring back the
You had
scams. The
Like,
niggas
and
dolls
not
boosting
want
the
scams.
telephone
motherfucking
scams and
Vegas.
like the grandma scams. I'm talking about the
Yes.
fucking.
The dolls want scams.
Yes, yes, that was Josh. That was Josh.
Call my grandma on her goddamn landline and say I'm in prison and she needs to FedEx you money. Bring back the
Exactly. Remember the steak niggas? Niggas will pull up on you with steaks, nigga, in the back of their truck and shit. You can
Oh yeah, when they used to have just no refrigeration or nothing, just like a box of steaks.
yes, nigga, you gotta buy these now because in 4 hours they're not gonna be no good. They've been in my trunk, but I promise you they good right now. Like fuck it, I'm gonna give
Oh,
it to
good
these.
times.
I gotta sell them by sundown. Look, one time there was a dude that was about to quit his McDonald's job. He definitely came to the fucking neighborhood, and we definitely had all of the McDonald's things forever, like French fries, the fish fillets, the McRibs. We had the fucking apple pies. We had the fucking hash browns and the sausages. Like when I tell you, my house smelled like McDonald's for like the whole summer. Like, and I was literally selling plates like out of like oh, you want to fucking, I got you.
Yeah. Look, growing
Like,
up in the hood makes you a booster, nigga. Like I remember working at a warehouse, and we was motherfucking the niggas like they didn't if you came in because you was a temp, they didn't know you, so they would wait. Once the niggas found out we was cool, they put us up on game. And the nigga told me, he said, "You like to run your mouth? Go talk to the boss. Keep them busy." These niggas pulled cars up to the dock and was just dumping shit in the trunks, like, and would take the cologne to the hood. Like we literally had like expensive ass cologne. You take that shit to the hood and sell that shit for like the cheap cases of toilet paper, like 80 rolls. I'm selling that shit for $80, $1 a roll.
nigga, like, let's get it. Like,
take it, sold. Listen.
Bring back boosting. Okay, so hey guys.
Hi. Does anybody else? Now that you said that about the toilet paper, has anybody else noticed that it feels like they just buy toilet paper all the time? Like I feel like I was buying less, and maybe I don't know by wiping my ass more. Like it's very scary to me where the toilet paper goes. Like I'm just like, are the dogs using it to wipe their asses too? Like what?
It has seemed like toilet paper leaves at an accelerated rate lately.
It's starting to scare me. Somebody else lives in here. Must. I'm not sure who or
what Autumn just said, yo. I was gonna ask you that. Do you all remember when they used to deep fry them joints? Some apple pie deep fried is the shit, nigga.
Yes. Yes.
The only thing that was bad around that time was chocolate annihilators, and that shit had to go. But
wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
chocolate annihilator?
Yep, there used to be chocolate annihilators, and them shits was horrible.
So was it? I don't understand. Was it taffy?
It was just chocolate flavored,
or was it like a?
No, they just chocolate flavored the annihilator, like the same texture or whatever.
But it was chocolate.
I can't. All I taste is strawberry. Like I can't.
Like a hard Tootsie Roll.
It was disgusting.
So a hard Tootsie Roll. Oh my god. Oh.
But it didn't even, Tootsie kind of Tootsie 50-50. Some people fuck with it, some people don't. Nobody fucked with this chocolate annihilator. Chocolate annihilators was like buying blunts from a gas station in a white neighborhood. They always stay.
Wait a second. All my gas stations are in the white neighborhood.
White people smoke now. Come on now. It's not no.
But honestly, no. The fucking Chevron, the Chevron right up the street from my house is definitely selling the 2 Swisher packs for 99¢, usually for like $1.49, and it's atrocious. And I refuse. Like, I cannot.
Like, they do jack up the price, but they do. They sell.
Tell me a Dutch back for like $3.50 or some shit. I said, nigga, 3 blunts for $3.50, nigga. This is why I smoke glass. Sounds like
peanut butter ones too. Ew. I feel like it's the peanut butter ones just ain't it a fucking here you go. Ain't it? I don't know. Peanut butter.
I'm so sad.
Like you can't call it now later if it don't taste like a candy. Like if it don't taste like strawberry. Like if it don't taste like green apple, like you can't call it an now later. It's got to be something else now.
Like I think the worst we accepted banana.
It was down bad.
Okay. I would really love to get into the documentary, but before I fucking do, I don't understand. Listen, I let you niggas have it with the candy corn. I don't care. Fine. But what the fuck is the what is wrong with banana candy?
There's nothing wrong with banana candy. Banana annihilators just was like I love my favorite runts was the bananas. Like I get banana shakes. Banana is great, but it was something about the banana annihilators that just didn't annihilate it right. Like it just.
No, I'm not. You're right. I'm not. You're absolutely correct. I'm absolutely not.
Oh nah, hell no! I ain't saying they was good. Shit.
No, I've never.
Wings take amazing, nigga. Don't go there. Anyway,
banana is one of. I will just say, banana is one of those flavors where it's hit or miss. Like it's either good or it tastes very artificial, and it has that very artificial sugary smell, and it does not taste like banana. It is either hit or miss. Like it's good banana candy or it's really bad banana candy. There is no in between.
Watermelon, everything.
Same with watermelon.
I like fucking banana Laffy Taffies.
Fuck yeah.
I love those.
Do it well. Now later did not do it. Did do a good job.
I'll give you
Taffy. Excellent.
Like so good. And the jokes like the corniest.
Right.
The corniest jokes are on the banana ones. Corniest jokes are on banana. There you go.
Like, so great. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what we hear. Okay, Tamara, hold on a damn minute. If it's supposed to taste like, but like, do y'all really want to taste like a goddamn banana? Like, because now I'm concerned about preservatives. Like, what is making it taste so much like a banana?
I don't like grape anything.
Yeah, fuck grape candy.
Yeah, I don't like grape anything.
Really grapes.
Yeah,
not anything grape just tastes like purple to me. It tastes like whatever dye number in purple. It's not.
I hate the fact that grape got associated with black. Like, no. No.
Yeah, I don't like grape Kool-Aid. I don't like grape candy.
It don't taste like grape. It's just it's something purple flavored. It's just purple. Like that's not grape flavor. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So hey guys,
where we talk about documentaries and not where we talk about podcasts
or boosting
or navigators
or flavor preferences.
That's Chris.
Yep.
That's VJ.
Yay!
And I'm Penrose. I got it right.
Yay! That's Penrose. That's Penrose.
Guys, this is all docked up. We've been here for like 10 minutes now. So, guys, we're doing the documentary Bayou Blue. You guys can watch it if you can. If we don't do a good job, y'all can go watch it yourself. No, watch it. Go watch it yourself. Go watch it yourself so y'all could get into what we be talking about. Okay, Amazon Prime. Go watch it. Let's get into it. What is Bayou Blue? Bayou Blue is a area in the Terrebonne Parish. Is that correct? And is it southeastern?
New Orleans, yeah.
Like Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah. It's over there.
There were so many parishes they was talking about. I'm just like, you had to keep up with them. That orange is
it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation.
We had a whole conversation about it, but I'll tweet about it later. But
yeah.
Because we can talk about colors on black skin for hours. Because colors on black, like you remember,
there was some nail shop confusion, but we'll talk about it.
You remember growing up and your mama told you you can wear black with anything because it just go. That's like real shit with black colors, like black people. You can wear anything.
Yeah, it's true. We're magic like that. Okay, so Bayou Blue, super quiet, super small. It's kind of like a division between two different parishes, right? I forgot the other one, but Terrebonne Parish is what it's considered to be a part of, technically. Right. It's a lot of like hometown pride, which is understandable, especially when you're talking about like little small areas, right? So we get a lot of in the documentary people just kind of talking about how they, they're born and raised there, like they're born and raised there, like they've raised their families, like they're never leaving, and then they kind of start talking about how it's kind of changed, right? And that kind of we kind of. I feel like nowadays, like we all kind of have that conversation about like the areas that we grew up in, like how we have fond memories of it and all that stuff like that. But it's like, it's a fucking camera on the street right now, right?
Right. Like, and like you mentioning that, like the biggest thing to me in that part, because it's like right at the beginning, of course, is that when they explain how Bayou Blue was built, and it literally was. Just niggas was like, fuck it, we gonna live out here on this water. Wherever we can find solid land in this water, we just gonna build. And it's a road next to all of this water, but that's like the only dry land. And you figured out a way to literally live in the water and coexist with just the people that's there. Like, you don't really go into town and deal with people unless you got to type shit. So
right. VJ, what's happening with the face?
I did. Like I get having like that sense of pride about it, but it's also still kind of a shithole. So like I want to see it for them. Like I want to see it for them, and I understand that this is your shithole, but it's also like it's still a shithole.
Listen, like I ain't gonna front.
He literally just said it's literally a strip of fucking land between
like it was really giving me like lipstick on a pig vibes, and I just was like, I want to see what you see. Like I want to see what you're describing because you sound very magical and proud of it, but it's like I don't see it. Like okay, like I'm.
Then they did like the black and white effects on the like pictures to like really, you know what I'm saying, like showing you like the waterways and shit, and it did just look like.
And I was like,
I'll never.
I was like, "Can you just point me to the crawfish because I don't know what this is." Like,
the fact that they pointed out the hometown pride, I think, was the most important because it was a shithole. Like, it literally gave me the vibes of when they was interviewing people in like this shitty ass town in Mississippi, and it was all white folks and they had like missing teeth and like lived poor as shit, and they were like, "Fuck Obama, no sir," and it was like, nigga, at the end of the fucking day, this white man that you want to office don't give a fuck about you either. You broke his fuck
at all. So, you're not on his radar,
but.
That's whiteness. That's whiteness at all costs. These people just were like, "Fuck it, we don't like anybody." That was white at all costs. These people are like, "Fuck it, Bayou Blue at all costs." Like I don't even think they.
Right, fucking Bayou Blue inside DIE. But anyway, so once we get like past like people, just kind of introducing us to the area, the neighborhood. Everybody know everybody. Like I said, guys, it's a little small area right in between like two other things happening. Like a sliver of fucking.
It's smaller than Toledo. If you know what Toledo, Ohio is, it's smaller than that. And Toledo's pretty fucking small. Shout out to Autumn.
How many people live in Toledo?
Autumn lives in Toledo.
AP Bio, he had to go back to Toledo, Ohio. I love that show. AP Bio.
Oh, okay, yeah, the show. I'm trying to think. So, how big is Toledo?
I don't know.
I would say like probably like a quarter of what Dallas is. Probably not even a quarter. Because I know Dallas is pretty big. That's why I say a quarter. Like, it's small enough to live. It's one of those times where you live there, but you don't work there. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like where
it's a population of 270,000 people. It's areas 83.83 miles.
It's small as shit. There's a joke because Michigan and Ohio fought over Toledo, and we always say that we're glad that Ohio won. Fuck Toledo. I love you, Autumn.
That I think that this place is substantially smaller than Toledo.
Yeah,
for sure, definitely.
There's definitely not 200,000 people in Bayou Blue.
Nah,
I'm thinking more about the
2,000 or something.
Right.
Like
so I was going to say it was probably more on par about with the place that I went to high school. Like the town I graduated from, like the school I went to school in high school. The town only had 3 stoplights. There was no McDonald's. There's no hospitals. So like maybe 4,000 people is the population right now. So when I was there, probably substantially less, probably about 3,000 people. So nobody worked there really. A few people because there's like a plant there, but nobody really worked there.
Right.
Y'all just kind of leave. There's only like 3 stoplights and like a couple of fast food places. There's nowhere for you to actually physically work. So I think it was kind of, so I would say it's probably the size of that. And that's why I'm thinking to myself, if it's what I'm imagining it to be, it's kind of it's raggedy. Because I think in the voiceover, the guy was like, they were describing a church, a mini storage, and like a pizza place. And that's all they ever mentioned.
Right. Like 4 or 5 times.
Literally, right?
This place is shitty because out of all the docs we did where cops talk to people, we can hear them clearly. I felt like we was listening to a nigga on a white noise machine. Like, dog, that was the hardest part about watching this. I was interested in the whole story, but trying to listen to that shit, I'm like, bro.
And here, I mean, and I get it. And when I feel like that, I always feel like a city slicker. Like, where I can't understand niggas and shit. Like, I don't know, but I definitely had to. Yeah.
So for those of you that watch, they had a very thick New Orleans accent, and it's just watch it with subtitles because sometimes it's just very hard to understand what's going on, and then sometimes the subtitles didn't pick up the words, and it was like
they don't know what they're saying either.
Yeah, sometimes the subtitle was like mumbling, like it didn't. So
it really did. It was like da 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 da.
So just put on the subtitles, but other than that, it is a good documentary.
It is.
So I think we're in the car with a cop. Is that where I didn't get his name.
Yeah,
I don't know. But he's driving down old gravel road. Like, again, just to really take in how small this fucking town is, that they call a road old gravel road because it's an old gravel road. Like, I feel like that's probably the only, you wouldn't, if somebody said old gravel road, you wouldn't get it like mixed up with another back alley like street. Like, this was a old gravel road.
He said it though. Remember, he said it. He was like, they said it was off Highway 90, so I'm expecting it to be off Highway 90. He like, but nah, it's off this old gravel road. And literally, that was the only road there. Like, the nigga didn't have to figure out much. Oh, it's not literally Highway 90. It's got to be this one place then because ain't nowhere else to be. This motherfucker.
Exactly.
We find
I kind of feel like you compare it to because most of us from the Midwest, and when you from the Midwest and you come from a big city in the Midwest, and then you finally go outside that city and realize the rest of your state is country as fuck. It's like
that's fuck.
That's what that shit felt like.
A lot of places in my home state don't even want me there. Like, oh my god,
you from Chicago, nigga. Like the fact that Deer Park,
it's 9 sundown states in Illinois. I mean, cities in Illinois.
It's. That's why I joke with people. Like, you're like, oh, the North is so much better, the Midwest is so much better, and I was like,
Black places in the Midwest are so much better.
Yes,
don't like us.
I was like, we moved from Chicago to here, and I'm just like, it's the same racism, different cowboy hat. Like, I
Different, but same.
I don't know. It's the racism with boots on. I don't, you know.
Racism
They
with
racist
horse
with
spurs. Racist with spurs, nigga. Racist with spurs.
Racism with brisket. There you go. Racism with brisket.
You got racism in mild sauce and racism in brisket.
For barbecue. They just out here. It's wild.
Yeah.
But
what was fucked up about the racism in the Midwest is that the Midwest is the only people that can talk about the Midwest. It'll be a racist ass white boy and hear somebody from Ohio talking shit and we'll deal with it. But you hear a motherfucker from Texas talking shit to a black motherfucker, you're gonna be like, hold the fuck up, brother. You know what I mean? The Midwest is only allowed to talk shit about the Midwest.
I gotta turn on my southern accent. Well, wait, goddamn minute, bud.
Not bud.
Right. Who are you talking about, pal? Gotta turn it on for him. Gotta put it in terms they understand.
I might not like that nigga, but he's from up here, all right?
I just want y'all to know y'all little friend walked in here and thought she was gonna drink the wine out my glass, and I had to kick her out. She a drunk. Your little friend is y'all's little friend is a drunk. I just want y'all to know.
Not as drunk.
If this is the first time to all docked up, this is how the show starts.
My dog's a drunk. Sorry, guys. So sorry. Sorry. Dog's a blush. She's got it honest. Thank you.
Look like a glass this week, though. Is that real glass?
It is real glass.
Why do we have to do this?
It's a special occasion. Bitch broke out her real glasses for y'all.
Look, that's our motherfucking Pee Wee Herman thing of the week.
Glass. Okay, so Old Gravel Road. So we drive down Old Gravel.
We promised we watched it.
I really did. So look, Old Gravel Road, April 2005, right? There is a body, like haphazardly, just kind of like thrown off to the side, right? Not really hidden, not buried, just kind of just like head first, like into the ditch, right?
Right.
August Watkins, right? That was him. And it was interesting because he was found while people were looking for someone else.
That was missing.
Yeah. So there was another guy in the area, and I think that's the two black people that we meet later, right?
So Wayne Smith is also gone missing, and so his family is out just looking for Wayne. Like they, which is sad because I think at some point the grandma does say that they were just kind of out looking for a body, and that's fully what they expected to find and not find him alive, which I was like kind of curious about why they felt that way. But
well, she said that Wayne was the type that he was home every night. He called every night if he wasn't going to be home on time. And
okay, so maybe she just expected the worst. She just kind of was preparing herself, because I just thought that was weird that they felt like they weren't just like looking for him. You know, most people are like, oh, we're going looking for a missing person. We assume maybe they're hurt or injured or in the hospital. Like they have all these, I guess, other things to not go directly to this person is dead and we're looking for their body somewhere. I just thought it was interesting. That's right where she went, but
you got to think if it's a small ass town, like what shit is that?
What just happened?
You didn't hear all that?
You didn't hear that static, that weird noise?
No, what the fuck?
Yo, yeah, like no, it sounds like
me feel like it was a poltergeist, nigga. Like,
well, it sounded like a fucking poltergeist. That's why we were looking around. Like, bitch, did you do that? Like,
no.
Okay, well, this week and shit.
Can y'all reenact what the sound sounded like?
No. No.
Okay, so while they're out looking for Wayne, right?
Could you just wait till we're done? Like, whatever you got going. Like,
okay,
I don't know.
So somebody tell me what just happened because I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything.
I've heard it too. Okay, we're not tripping. It sounded like a weird like something was like it sounded like somebody was using a blender, but they were using it from like far away, kind of like somebody like turned on a blender, but like.
Every time you do a show, somebody got to say something. Maybe that was Wayne. Like, look, nigga, don't be talking about my grandma like that, boy.
My bad. We're gonna stop talking about your grandma. Sorry. But they was looking for Wayne, and they done found this other man body, and then the people is all found face down in the ditch with their butt up out the water, like it's a lie.
Yeah. The fact
listen.
That was a consistent thing was like, damn, like everybody got their ass in the air. But it's true.
Wait,
That's
so
what
this
I'm
is gonna
talking
sound
about.
horrible, and I feel like I'm going to hell for saying it, but I wrote in my notes like, "Damn, everybody face down, ass up," and I feel like I'm probably going to hell for that. But that's what I wrote because sorry.
Because it's not the way that they like to fuck. Unfortunately,
Gross.
we found
Not
that.
most of them.
Right.
Listen, but it's so
I
funny that
had
you just said that.
several drinks of moonshine when I was watching this. I am so sorry.
To get into the feel of it, you had to. Shit.
Listen, okay, so I was telling her before we started recording.
Modern than these motherfuckers.
True shit. Well, I was telling V when we before we started recording. I was like, "Yo, when we get famous, we're gonna have to sell these like with all our crazy notes, like her face down, ass up. Like I got some great ones from when we didn't do the Chris Watts one.
Dog, we all got great notes from that shit.
Like we really do. But okay.
Who his brother Landry? Is that who we talked to? August Watkins, when they found the body, his brother's sitting there. Said he saw his brother, and he was telling the brother, "Oh, if you need something, let me know. If you need money." And the brother was like, "Oh no, I found a job. I'm good." Da, 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 da. So that's when they kind of start figuring out, okay, somebody's getting these guys to go do something. Like they're offering something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes into meeting all of the victims' families before we actually get into everybody that died. So we meet Nick Pellegrini's mom, and nobody's really talking about the death at that point. They're talking about their families, but the cops are showing that people are dying, and it kind of ties it all in. And it for me, to be honest about it, the whole time I was like waiting to see the killer. I was like, this nigga. The fact that they was describing him as somebody who wasn't supposed to be able to manhandle men of this size, right? I was expecting to see like at least some stocky type motherfucker or somebody that looked smart enough to do some crazy shit. And we'll get to what we found, but I want to bring up that where you live and where you grow up sometimes it always has an effect on your mentality. And the way that he was getting these people to get in this car with him, I'm like, nigga, what? There's no fucking way that you just gonna offer me sex with some girl I ain't never met before, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it's a boring ass Wednesday night. Let me hop in the car with you.
Like, really?
Yes.
So before we get into that real fast, I just want to make sure that we do eventually find Wayne in August of that same year, 2005. But then, guys, remember that Katrina happens really soon after that.
Right.
So
like 2 weeks after they found Wayne, Katrina happened.
So it's important to keep that in mind when we're talking about the process that it took for them to piece this shit together. True. Because Katrina was Katrina. You know what I'm saying?
It's essentially, like, to lack of a better term, but the perfect storm. Because, right, you have these people that are murdered, but then you have this once in essentially what's supposed to be a once in a lifetime, ecological event, and then storm, and then it essentially washes away all your evidence. Like anything that you could have found that would have been there, like, is now underwater. Like, what are you supposed to, like, it's really hard to investigate.
I think something that's important to bring up is that the cops that we meet never knew each other before these cases. These cops work in different areas and different precincts. And the lady was like, I might see him once every couple of weeks. We didn't work together, but because the murders were happening in different towns that were so close together, they had to work together. So I bring that up because of Katrina. And like you said, the evidence washed away. You fucking with somebody who you don't even work with, and now you got to build all of this shit again. You know what I mean? Like, this was the first time where I still didn't like the cops, but it was the first time where I actually had some type of empathy for what they had to deal with out of all the docs we didn't looked at so far.
Yeah. In 2005, they found like 3 bodies, I think, because he said they found the Nick Pellegrin guy, August Watkins, and then, like he said, another Kurt Cunningham, which we don't sit with his family or anybody that he knows, but they also found his body, and then another person who's Sutterfield. He called him by his last name, and I don't remember what his first name was, which I feel terrible about.
It's like Keith Sutterfield or something like that.
Yeah, I think maybe Keith. And they said they found him in 2006. But what's so crazy about this is that they essentially are linking like 20 some odd murders to this person, because these murders go back as early as like 1998.
Right.
October 1998, actually, Oliver LeBanks was found with no shirt, no shoes, same kind of situation.
So it took them a little while to piece it together, but by the time they did, this person had murdered a substantial amount of people. We're talking prior to 2005.
Right.
So that's why it's like I want to give them empathy because I know their job was hard, but also you got a
when it's
lot
a
of
town where
bodies.
shit don't really happen like that, I think that it's like I tell people about where I live. The reason why dope boys flourish out here is because the cops don't really believe that dope is being sold in this area because it's so prominent and it's so rich and the fucking crackheads is fucking $100,000 niggas. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a small town where a murder might happen, it's like you don't believe it's gonna be a serial killer type shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's like why would you expect a serial killer to show up in Bayou Blue of all places?
Right.
But it's also an easy killing ground because everyone is poor and kind of whatever, and
a lot of wayward people.
Right, a lot of kind of transient situations. So you have a lot of people that are essentially low-hanging fruit for people that are killers.
Right. I mean, because the money he was offering is the money you offer a crackhead to cut your grass or to paint your house. Like, and I'm not trying to make a joke, but we all know those areas where you can give a crackhead $20 and the nigga paint a whole room in your house, maybe even two of them. I know a crackhead that detailed my fucking car to the max, and my inside of my car got flooded. I had a Camaro, old school, got flooded. And that nigga detailed it. I couldn't smell shit. It was clean. I like, you know what I'm saying? But I gave the nigga like $20. And of course he wouldn't spend it on crack, but
could I give him 100 and he come out here and do that? Or like
I'm pretty sure the nigga would. 21. That nigga still doing crack.
Like a Spirit, like a Spirit Airlines ticket. And
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, $30 turnaround.
That nigga be good. Like, this is
terrible.
Class. Like, no, nigga,
wait, what is happening? The dog is in there. Audrey, stop fucking scaring us.
No, it's the dog.
It's the dog.
What's the door? Yeah, the dogs are in there on the floor.
The dogs.
So that the door is cracked so I can hear them, and so they walk in and out to see what I'm doing.
I'm over here trying to scare Jay to leave. Like Penrose laugh. Like, look at this.
She got mad because I wouldn't share wine with her. She got mad and she walked out. That's all.
Wow, I need you to stop saying she a drunk. Like
she is. She's a fucking drunk, man. It's a sad case, but she's a drunk.
All right, so we find out there's two main locations that he likes to pick up people, right? Highway 182, which is off of New Orleans Boulevard, so it's like a really like popular strip, and then also Mechanicville, aka the Hood.
Right.
I will tell you by his second location that he definitely preferred and liked black men. That's what they said. So he had like a type, and only when he couldn't find that type was he willing to settle for like somebody, a white guy,
a short, stocky black man. The shit that we all hear when the cops fucking arrest the wrong person, this is the person that he was going for. 5'8" to 6 foot, stocky, black,
with a beard, maybe not a beard, waves, braids, fade.
And I don't know if this is important, but for everybody that's watching to understand how small this place is, 5 of the people he murdered were all from the same fucking family.
Yeah, they were related. That's what grandma was saying. Octavia, Little Miss Mushmouth. Mama.
Octavia.
Mama Mushmouth.
Right.
But yeah. So then we meet then we find out Chris DeVell is another person that he kills. I don't have the year though. I don't know what the year.
No, they're just kind of talking about it. They don't really give a year. They just kind of sit with him. The dad was saying that
Albert.
Yeah, he was just saying that he was in the streets and that he just wasn't really like. You can tell he was trying not to say that his son had a drug problem and that he was kind of, he was trying not to say the things that you say when you have somebody in your family that's struggling with addiction. He didn't want to get on camera and say and speak ill of him, especially because he's not here. And and I think that's something that a lot of parents that have, children that are addicts deal with. I mean, you could certainly hear that he was just trying to find a way to be, I guess, diplomatic and explain, hey, he was never at home. He was just kind of in the streets. But yeah, you could tell that he was leaving out the part where he had what I would consider a very serious drug problem.
Right. I mean, Nick Pellegrini's mom did it too. She did a horrible job of
it.
But she even said, he did drugs as a kid like every kid does, but he wasn't gay and he wasn't really a drug addict. Like you don't.
Yeah, she listen, like she glossed over the drug thing, where she definitely wanted niggas to know that he had bitches, he was not like that was very important to her for some reason. But
it was very weird. Yeah, I thought that was it was very strange. Her and the sister were sitting up there and they were saying they felt like the media like smeared him and made him seem like he was gay. But I was just like, really, why is that?
Because it's the
takeaway here. But I get it. It's a certain type of culture, right? So it's more important for her to say, he's not gay, because being gay is terrible, but doing some recreational drugs, not terrible. Everybody does that.
Right. And I think because, again, where you live, and regardless of how things are accepted in the mainstream and a lot of podunk ass towns, and sometimes racism still is the supreme and nobody can say anything about it. It's just like the one doc we watched where they had the separate fucking proms. And it still went on. Like, you know what I mean? So when you live in certain little ass towns, certain things matter more than others. And unfortunately, being gay in certain southern towns is still like, nah, that ain't what's going down over here. So
right.
She wanted to defend her son, but I did find it slightly like, what the fuck, that the nigga could have been on drugs and he could have just been out here in the streets, but he ain't gay.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and I don't know if he necessarily was gay, to be honest, because for what we learned later, that it's possible that maybe he
wasn't
right. That they created a profile of what they thought was happening, and it turns out they were pretty incorrect.
Yeah, which also might have been hindering them from being able to solve it.
Right. Because remember, they based the gay thing off of two dudes that were actually gay, and then they just ran with that theory.
Right.
So.
Right. But I want y'all to keep in mind there were actually 21 other people that got murdered.
Right.
So okay.
They don't have any breaks in the case. I think after we talked to Chris's father, they kind of say, well, there's nothing going on with this. They didn't have any evidence. And this is when they kind of get the breaking the case. This is when we meet Ricky Wallace.
Right.
Ricky Wallace
is a heroin addict, because nobody nods off like that doesn't do heroin. That nigga went to sleep.
And listen, you were absolutely right, but he also escaped a murderer. I don't know what his condition was before that, but he, like, even with the fucking heroin nod, like, I still felt his distress.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
He was having a hard time getting through that interview. Like, he was having a hard time.
2006, I believe.
2006, actually, girl.
2006 is when it all ended. Yeah,
they found the last body. Yeah.
Me taking a shot at the heroin is a joke in a way, but
I hear you.
Right, in the sense of, we meet him and we hear a full detail of how this dude's MO actually went down. And he was smart enough to be like, nigga, I ain't fucking with that shit. Because now at this time, remember, they hadn't led into the fact that a woman was supposed to be involved. Everybody was they were leading us to
supposed to be gay.
Right.
Right. And so Ricky Wallace, tells us his story. So y'all want to get into this?
Yeah. So Ricky, who is telling us kind of in the middle of his like heroin now, which nothing wrong, because I think he is probably coping with some serious trauma. So we're gonna let him have
for sure. But he was doing this like he was like rubbing his eye, but really he was like taking a 5-second sleep. Like he
was just resting his eyes a little. Yeah. So Ricky tells us that basically he's on, but something. He's coping somehow. So Ricky tells us that basically a guy pulls up to him and tells him, hey, I have this white woman that you can have sex with.
He got this white woman
and
a picture. Excuse me, it's an actual photo.
Picture. So he legit pulls out a Polaroid,
a piece of paper,
an actual physical like Walmart CVS 24-hour, 1 hour photo joint.
10.
Yeah, pulls out the good glossy 4x6 on us and is like, "Hey, look at this white woman. You can have sex with her. Like, if you get in the car, I'll take you to her right now." And he says, "Cool, yeah, let's go have sex with the white woman." Chris, tag in, boom.
Thank you. I just would like to ask, if I was a thirsty nigga, I would be more interested on why she not in the car with you. Why are you showing me a picture? Like, shouldn't she be able to look at me and tell if she wants me inside of her? Like, I would be like, roll the back window down. Where's the hoe? Like,
right.
It was weird. It was like it was.
Me. That's the shit that threw me. If you would have told me that all these niggas got in this car on some gay shit, then I could have believed, like, if you're a gay man and this man wants to have sex, y'all fooling around all this shit, then that's part of your life already. But I don't know. Again, your town influences your mind, but how fucked up is the town to where all I got to do is show you a picture of a bitch that you can have sex with this woman if you give me $20 or $30 and you like that, I'm down. The fuck? What?
Like,
it was so weird. Like, it was so strange that they were just that was the ruse that was able to work it. I was like, are all these people have to be on drugs or abusing some type of substance for that to be something that they would agree to? Because what other way does it make sense? Because even if because I look at it in terms of like goods and services, right? Like, if we're saying you're going to have sex with a person or you're going to buy something, you couldn't pull up to my car. Like, we were talking about boosters. You couldn't pull up to my car and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll go boost some Tide Pods for you, but you got to give me the money for the Tide Pods up front. I don't got no Tide Pods in the car right now, but I'm gonna have them. But get in the car with me, and we'll go get them right now." I'd be like, "Nah, bitch. When you get back with the Tide Pods, I'm gonna have your money."
Exactly.
Like,
and then,
so I mean, I don't want to reduce. I don't want to. Go ahead.
No, look, I'm listening. Go ahead. You know, it'd be a delay on my shit. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't want to reduce a person to like Tide Pods, but it's like, why would you? Yeah, like, why would your thing be like, I don't see anybody else in this car, but I'm gonna get in the car with a white man I don't know to go fuck a white bitch I also don't know. Like, he can take you any fucking where, which he did, but I'm just like, I just don't know.
And he also saying he don't know if he know her either. Like, because she not in the
car. It could be a picture from the internet. Like,
thank you. And then when
you look at it and be like, that's Keke Palmer. Like, see, no.
Sorry to this woman.
Look, and then my thing about it is this. Like, as a nigga, I have wholeheartedly, in my super whorish days, done some shit that I probably shouldn't have done in the hopes of getting pussy, right? But the thing about it is, when you get there and you find out that this woman is not readily there, and this will lead into the next part of the doc for everybody that's watching right now. What makes you say, I'm going to let this white man I've never met before tie me up, get me naked, tie me up, and convince me that this is the only way this white woman is going to have sex with me?
Yeah, so that's the other part. So he's taking them to secluded locations, telling them, "Oh, well, get out." Yeah, it does sound like a setup, because he's taking them to the middle of nowhere, telling them to get out the car, and telling them, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna you have to get naked, and then I have to tie you up. That's the only way she likes it." But then you still don't see the woman anywhere. No other cars have shown up. There's not another person.
He ain't left yet. Like,
and you're not in places where there's other rooms. This nigga had like a 1-room camper type shit. Where is she gonna just?
Where's she at?
She in the woods chilling, waiting.
Like To Catch a Predator does a better job at making you think it's a bitch there. Like,
they at least have one of the production assistants yell from the other room and be like, "I'm in the shower right here.
I made some cookies."
Yeah, like, at least they have a woman on premises to like yell to make it feel like there might be somebody there for sex.
There might be a bitch here that I might be fucking
no, I don't. It was very weird. So I don't know if maybe we're missing some part of it, or maybe he's not remembering everything. I hope that maybe he's not remembering all of it.
He said he got taken to Bayou Blue. He was told to get undressed, tied up, wrapped in a towel on his stomach. And then he said, "Oh no, son." That was literally his words.
All right.
He literally was like, "Oh no."
Because Ricky's a smart cookie, right? Ricky might like heroin, but Ricky's not a dummy. Like,
Ricky's not a dumbass. Ricky's not a dummy. Nigga, you got me over here, but now I see this is all getting
this is not
This is out of my jurisdiction.
well, let you know another way that this is a small ass town is that he convinces this dude finally to take him back. The nigga who said he's gonna tie you up, he drives you back. Which I guess is okay because at this time you don't know that this man is on some violent other shit. Right.
And he tried to talk him into staying. He was like, not at all. They argued, and he basically was like, take me back to where the fuck you got me from right now. But then he's in the car.
This is a break in the case only comes from the fact that this nigga is having night terrors and his mama randomly tells a cop. This is a very small ass town. How is this man getting away with this shit? You see what I'm saying? Like, maybe the doc did leave some shit out because it's like, this is the dumbest way to abducted in plain sight or whatever that shit was called, where the nigga told the girl the aliens was there and all that shit. That was a smarter fucking rules than this shit. This is the dumbest way to ever get abducted.
I will say this about abducted in plain sight, and then I will just move. But like, that was smart because they were Mormons. And if you ever read anything about them, like that was smart because they're Mormons. Like he was right. Yeah, he was right in the right situation for her to believe that. She was already primed to believe some shit about aliens, so he was right there.
True shit.
But yeah, I don't know what made these men think that this was okay. Like it was very odd. And then the crazy part about it is that the place is so small that they're like pointing out places they found bodies, but like able to like point across a fucking field to another place that they found a body, then point to another place. Like, well, let's go up here by the mini storage because we found 3 bodies over here in the field. Like it was crazy. Like they were just like they would remove one body and like 2 more was like here.
He was like he said in the history in most cops, like when you have a serial killer. And it's very rare that you could stand in a place and literally turn around and point to another place where you just found the body a couple weeks ago. Like,
they were literally turning around in a circle and pointing, and like it was just different places they found bodies. Like it was very concerning.
Yeah, it was a lot. Okay, so then Ricky goes to the cops, right?
Well, Ricky also points out the dude, which I think is the other part that gets left out of this. I think they realize that the other part of the ruse is that he is probably threatening these people with a gun because he is running his hand along the door panel when Ricky convinces him to take him back. He's running his hand along the door panel, and Ricky is like looking at him.
Smart guy. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Already on high alert. He was like, "This bottle." Yeah.
Ricky told him,
he's like, I will be
10 and 2, my nigga. 10 and 2.
He was like, yeah, put your hands on that steering wheel and drive. And you better not look over here. You better not blink or breathe hard, bitch, or I'm gonna slam this bottle back of your head. Drop me off where you got me from.
And he got dropped off, and that's how he was here to tell the story.
What killed me is that Ricky was prepared to die that night. That nigga said he told him, I will hit you in the head and press the accelerator. Like, you're not in the driver's seat. So if you reach over and press the center, you know what I mean? Like that fear of this dude might be able to do something to me, and I would rather die than the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga's already tried to tie you up in a fucking camper. You got to be thinking that at some point on this ride back, something crazy can still happen.
Might happen, yeah.
Because he's agreeing to take you back, but it could be agreeing to take you somewhere else. And just dump your body out on the road. You don't know.
Right.
So it's amazing that he's even alive to tell this story. Definitely.
True.
Definitely. True. So he does, and we find Ronald Dominique, right?
Right.
This is our guy. To the camper.
Yep.
This Pepperwood.
I don't like that his last name is my middle name. Feels very disrespectful.
He's a fake ass bitch. Like
he really is a crybaby ass bitch.
Be a black dude. I ain't gonna front.
Ronald, right? Ronald Dominique. Yeah. No, but we're in Louisiana, so we get those Cajun-y names.
Listen, they told me that Chet Hanks' boy's name is Chester, and I said, and that's why your dead child running around here acting like a nigga, Tom, because y'all named him Chester, and that's why he out here. His name is Chester.
Chester the Jester.
So so y'all gotta quit. White people quit naming y'all kids these nigga names because then they act a fucking fool. We get named that and we don't act like that. Like if I want to name my baby Tanner gonna be the dopest football player, best child to ever live. You name your child fucking Ronald, and now he done murdered twins. So I need y'all to just take a step back and do some other shit. Stay in y'all lane, name your babies whatever the fuck you name.
Not a white girl named
Shonda. Nigga, she was trying to sell dope in the Navy. Like, bitch, you what the fuck?
She's trying to live vicariously through her name. Like
exactly.
One white girl I know one white girl named Keisha. I think she in jail for doing robbery. So there you go.
Like, that's real shit. Keisha to us is such a common name, but I've never ever met a white girl named Keisha.
I know several.
Wow.
I know several.
Keisha's like Keisha's like Keisha.
Every time I think about it, I'm amazed. Like, your mama named you Keisha, and then the other daughter name is, and then her little sister name is Elizabeth, and she plays golf. Like, it's just
Elizabeth and Keisha.
So Elizabeth and Keisha, and Elizabeth out here straight laced, playing golf, being like super Christianity saved, like, and then Keisha does robberies.
At some point, you have to understand. Like in the black
community, does Black Air Force robberies. I just want to clarify.
Do you blame yourself when you name your white kid Keisha and she is a robber?
Yep.
She does
Black Air Force robber.
Yeah, because you only did it because you aren't really racist and you want to show black people that you like them. And black people.
She could have liked us without that.
We realized that name had death on it. Man, please. When was the last time you had a new baby named Keisha?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm like, the last Keisha I know is my cousin, and she over.
now your baby's got to have names with like Y's and unnecessary like vowels in them and shit. Lee's and E's. Gotta put 6 E's on the end now.
Right.
They don't have to though, guys. That's just to put that out there. They could just be regular names still. All right, so record. So then we hear a lot of recordings, and so if you close your eyes and you weren't watching this documentary and you heard these recordings, these would sound like recordings of a victim, of somebody who's gone through a traumatic experience.
Yep.
Someone who felt that their life was flashing before their eyes and they felt like they needed to do whatever they had to do in that moment to survive.
Have you ever seen the movie Monster?
Mm-hmm.
And remember when she said why she turned into a serial killer and they showed that scene where the nigga had her tied up and she got loose and shot that nigga? I understood why she was killing niggas. I didn't empathize with it, but I understood it. And that's what...
But you understood.
Like, close your eyes and listen to that shit. That's what it kind of put me in the mind frame of. And I took it as like, this nigga was either really, really smart or, again, there's something about this town that's just that fucked up because he told all the stories as if he was the victim. But I did it because I was afraid I was going to die. And even though I initiated all these situations, I went and picked up all these people.
Yes.
I spoke to them first.
Yes.
I felt like I was going to die.
Yes.
It sounded very qualified immunity. It was giving me, cop tease. It was giving me shoot unarmed black people tease. It was a lot.
A lot of sobbing.
A lot of heaving, hiccuping, a lot of dry heaving,
coughing, like just a lot of stuff.
The cry you cry when your mama hit you that hard as a kid and you think she don't love you for the first time. That's the kind of crying that nigga was doing, as if this
something really happened to him.
Yeah, as if the crying was gonna make the cops be like, "Oh, we understand." You know what I'm saying? It's like the nigga was crying for sympathy, which, again, I can't condone or defend this shit. But when you mentally fucked up, which he had to be in some way to be a serial killer anyway. But damn, like, can we say that he really didn't feel that way at some point? And
didn't feel what way?
All of this shit happened.
Didn't feel what way?
That he was really in danger. Because think about it, you
got no.
If that's your argument for the murder in 1998, then sure. If that's your argument for the murder in 1998, then you say, I felt like I was in danger. Okay, but why is this person naked in the middle? Like, why are they naked then? Like, if you felt so in danger, why would you dump it like a naked person? Unless, I guess, evidence or whatever. We'll give him that. Right. So if you say you killed the person on accident and dumped him, and you want to cry about that,
I'll give him 1998 because there was a nice gap in between.
Like, whatever. He might have been shook.
So like, I'll say that if a situation happened that he was truly in fear of his life, it might have been the very first one. But
no, I'm not saying like he was really in fear, but I'm saying like mentally to make up some shit to continue to do this, you had to tell yourself somewhere that you was right, even though you know you're wrong. Like a narcissist literally makes up reasons why they're right. I'm sorry. What you said?
No, I think he killed that first guy. I think that gave him the rush or whatever he was looking for in his life. And then he took a break because the urge wasn't, he didn't set out to kill. The first time, I think he did not set out to kill that person. But then once it was done, he was like, oh shit, I kind of like this. And then he kind of was like, I'm okay. It's not an urge. I can chill on it. And then he kind of was okay for a few years. And then he was back in the saddle like, fuck it, I got to do it, whatever. I think that bullshit about I'm scared and I was in fear for my life is the shit he told the police. He enjoyed killing. You don't kill 23 people and escalate to that point unless it's something you can enjoy. Like, I don't think he was telling himself. I don't think he was telling himself anything to justify it other than he liked to do it. I think he told that shit to the police as a justification.
Okay.
And
I don't think he's saying anything to himself except for I like killing people.
So I want to like kind of like, because I just kind of pulled some stuff, like something that he had said out of that first recording. And again, guys, he's sobbing. He's explaining the story where he propositions a dude to have sex, right? And they're gonna do right in the car. They're gonna hook up or whatever. He's gonna pay him, and it's gonna be done. Like basically, that's what the situation is that he's describing. He gets in the car. Things don't go that way. The person now is threatening him, his life, threatening sex on him now. When it seems like this was something that would have been a consensual thing. So now the person that you picked up.
Because the weird part was he said that the dude says to him, either give me all your money or I'm going to
have sex with you.
What?
Like, but he's crying, so the police are like, okay, go ahead, my nigga, go ahead. But he's like,
did you want to have sex? Like, I'm so confused.
I thought that's why he was in the car. So he's always saying weird stuff like that. And then he uses phrases like, and and I put my thing in him, or like weird stuff like that. Like he's 5, like he's a kid. Like I don't understand like why we're using like the word thing and like I don't know. I think that he was saying that like to play more into like his like innocence, like right, like.
Well, I think it's also that idea that we were talking about a bit, like not being okay to be gay in that area. So I think that he was a gay man, but I think it was also, let me use these less offensive terms because I don't want these people to think I'm actually a gay man.
Okay.
Except the story started with him picking up a dude for sex.
But remember, they also find out from him that he would decide what rules to use to kill these people.
Within the first 5 or 10 minutes of talking to somebody, he
could decide if they were really gay or if he was going to have to pull out the picture of the girl.
Right.
So I think that's why I said I think for him it was, I don't want to be looked at as a gay man. So he was using whatever he thought would work. I think he is either gay or bi, but I think he does not want to be viewed in that way, if that makes sense.
He would much rather be viewed, and now, not because the point you just brought up as far as him making that shit up wasn't mental. That kind of, I feel you now in the sense of not wanting to be seen as gay, because now it's like I was doing this shit because I was in fear or whatever the fuck, like, but it's still, nigga, you still proposition sex with all these niggas, regardless of how it ended up, what happened, whatever. You knew that at some point you was trying to stick your dick in them, because, and then the fact that you used the words like I've heard butt so much, I was like, yo,
not butt.
What adult says butt? Adults don't say butt, nigga. Like even when you're adult, you say ass. You know what I'm saying? And so to them being viewed as a killer is better when you in that town, and being gay is still wholeheartedly looked down upon as some of the worst things ever. Then you do want to be viewed as a killer more than being viewed as a gay man.
I think a lot of it may be
pun intended.
I like that. Yay!
Glass. Yay!
No, I think but I also think that there is a certain level of shame, right? And so sometimes we do get serial killers who feel a sense of shame for whatever their urges are. So then it's that thing of, I'm a gay man. I have this urge to have sex with other men. But now that I've done this deed, I'm ashamed. So now I want to murder this person to get rid of that sense of shame that I have for doing whatever gay thing I've done. So it's like that double-edged sword of like, is he killing these people for fun, or is he killing them because there's some type of shame associated with homosexuality? So I think it's both.
It's like Derek Jackson telling us
he's killing
not to cheat on
heterosexual
our
people
wives,
too. So
this nigga was a cheater.
I think he just liked it all.
Wait, what, Rose?
It's like Derek Jackson saying, I don't understand how niggas cheat on their wife and you was a whole ass nigga. But my nigga, you was doing it all the time. It's
okay. I totally thought you said Janet.
He was inviting niggas to the velvet rope. Shit.
Yo, you think Janet still got that table?
Huh?
Think Janet still got that table?
The rotating table? I hope so. God bless her. I hope so. I want one. Janet, if you're listening, if you want to gift the bitch your rotating table.
I don't know where to put it, but
listen, don't have no. Listen, was at the store looking confused because I wanted to buy a bar cart. Don't have nowhere to put it, but yes, by all means, give me your rotating.
I love that.
I will move my bed out of the den. Yes, we'll move the couches out of the den. Gonna have that in there.
At the end of that song, when Janet says, "I ain't even get to come," she was recording on that goddamn table. Goddamn it.
Okay, so we haven't seen Ronald yet. So they go and pick him up. Child, if he don't look like
Boo.
Remember what Cat Williams said? Remember what Cat Williams said that when they went and got the niggas from the Utah shit, he said, I'm waiting to see these motherfuckers. And he said they brought them out and the white people was like, we just want our babies. Like, who the fuck is this?
He was hella like crumbled up, like 3 niggas had to help him walk down the stairs. He was huffing and puffing. Like, okay, my nigga. Right. So they say that he had just suffered from a stroke. I think he's a motherfucking liar. And I think he a murdering ass nigga. He was like, oh shit, they got me. Like how you just handicap him?
Thinking about that jail time, it was like, let me fake an injury. Oh my god!
They won't put me in.
Nigga, you have drugged over 20 people.
You got niggas
yards, like
beat your
feet,
ass.
Like
right.
It was a lie.
Your ass, you killed them.
And now you want me to believe that.
It was like Harvey Weinstein when he was showed up and started showing up in that wheelchair. Like this. Come the fuck on, bro. Like, it's nothing wrong with you. You was doing all these rapes and you was good, but now all of a sudden you so injured. Like,
he was in the wheelchair because his dick was sad. Like, so he had to like.
This type of shit make you have a little bit.
He had to keep the gravity from it.
This type of shit make you respect John McAfee because that nigga was like, yeah, I did it. I'm still that nigga.
I did it. I had that fucking hole in the fucking hammock. I did all of that shit.
The shithole in the hammock.
It's true. Listen. That was me. Shit.
Yes. He literally saw his name flash on the fucking TV screen and just fell over.
It said, that was it. Like he just fell out of the chair. Oh
no! Like all of that.
I feel like he drove himself to the hospital and then collapsed in like the emergency room for like a fit.
No, he filled out all the paperwork and it was like, I think it's a stroke, and then he just fell over.
And then he just fell out in front of the nursing station. Like I don't even think they had to pick him up. I think he took the drama.
Oh my God.
It was like when a dope boy realized he get caught and he like, fuck it, let me just turn myself in before it get too bad. That nigga was like, it's a bro, they gonna let me.
Oh my God. Listen, when y'all watch the documentary, the local news covers
hell yeah, right, and running in place and do a heart attack.
The local news covers him being walked out to be arrested from the police, and those two detectives.
He had 3 people. He had the nigga in the back for the anchor, and he had the one nigga on the side and the other nigga on the other side.
You know how the Wizard of Oz when like Dorothy Link's arms were like the Tin Man. Yeah, and they slipped down the
when
road.
the scare.
That was that's the perfect shit. That's the perfect analogy. That's exactly
They
what
had their arms linked in that man's arms, and he was
I got you.
He was good. You would have thought this is one of the mamas that found their dead babies the way they was carrying
She was very crumbled over.
The news covered every second. That was the longest news second I've ever segment. They covered
like 4 steps
out to the car.
It was like 4 steps.
Right.
They covered him all the way down that hallway into the car, and it was no lie 20 minutes. Oh my god!
And then my nigga laid in the back seat like it was nap time and shit. Like
just how he was walking, he just like laid on the side like that's how he laid down in the fucking.
They got his they
like this.
They propped his legs into the car, and he just.
I was like.
That's what I'm saying. Somewhere in the head, like to believe that he was gonna get some type of empathy or get his case going, or like they said, he wanted the death penalty once everything went down, and maybe he thought like this was gonna help him get that. Like, I don't know, but he wholeheartedly was acting like a motherfucker because
he's a real weirdo.
That had strokes, they can't even come back from, and they don't even walk like that. Like, come on.
Nigga. He had more niggas carrying him than Mariah Carey. Like I cannot. Like
it was a lie. Yeah, I was waiting for him to break out in the honey choreography.
Exactly. Mason the locks,
right?
Gold ass suits, like.
That's what you gotta. It was a lie. It was a lie. It was a lie. And then they found out he had a whole separate like box container trailer, some shit in Homer he was taking the niggas to. Like he had a whole setup. Like that's why I was like, you didn't fear for your life. Like they said, you didn't fear for your life, bro. You was taking these folks all over the countryside. You done bought like extra housing to like take them.
To store and assault people. No. Like so you can't get out of here. But literally every time that they question him, he just said, "I did it in defense. Like in self-defense. It was in defense." And why? And he also has a like fucking obsession of like mentioning that people gave him head. And I don't understand like why like.
Why that?
Why is it? We don't care about that part.
He was very unattractive and hunched over, and so he wanted folks to know that he was at least attractive enough to get his dick sucked. I guess.
I mean, the ugliest nigga that pay abroad the right money is attractive enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga. That like again, I will agree with you that I was wrong on the mental shit as far as him feeling like he was defending himself. But you had somewhere in there you got fucked up. To kill somebody in the first place, to want to go through these acts and continually do it the same way, you had to be fucked up. So you're right, like being unattractive in the sense, you probably didn't get no pussy all the way through high school. These are the type of people that probably made you feel bad coming up, and like this shit was just, but you was, I don't know, I don't get it, because you're right. Why wasn't it just we had sex or we fooled around? No matter
like what he was like.
About,
he never fucking glossed over that part. Like
he gave me head, he gave me head, I gave him head, and then we both pulled our pants down, and then he was supposed to lay on his stomach, and I was like, okay,
all right.
But then that's when he'd be like, "Oh, give me your money, or I'm gonna have sex with you."
Ronald, could you get to the part where you feared for your life? Because this just sounds like some shit I could see on Cinemax. Like, I don't care about this. Like, this is real cute.
I'm trying to figure out, like, in any situation where a sexual encounter has gone, like, awkward and the chick be like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Not one time has she ever been like, but give me all your money, nigga. Like, this nigga's naked with his pants to his ankles or knees and had enough motherfucking motion to, nigga, have you ever had to get up
the back of a car and then be like,
nigga, and do the ping.
And then he never said any of these people had a weapon or anything.
That's the most violent position in the whole world.
It is. Listen,
your dick out with no weapon, but these people tried to rob you or coerce you. Like, how? What? With their dick? Oh, I'm gonna slap you in the face with my dick if you don't give me your wallet. Like, what the fuck were they gonna use?
Right. And what nigga is
I
like,
both got your pants around your ankles in the back seat of your Prius or whatever the fuck it is. Like, where are you? What? What are y'all gonna do? Really?
I'm trying to think like how like if you're the nigga that makes that plan work, that has to be some shit you've been practicing for years. Like, you mean to tell me a nigga wholeheartedly was like, in the middle, this is the part where I'm gonna pull my knife out when my dick is out and my pants is around my ankles. This is when I'm gonna pull the knife out. The fuck, nigga, please.
No, like I need to hear that. Like I need to hear that sales pitch. Like I don't want him to get out of prison, but I need him. I need a bitch to go in. I need somebody to sit down. I need them to hit record, and tell me exactly what you told the heterosexual men to get them in the car.
I was really hoping they would
tell me what you told them.
I really wanted to see the picture.
I want to hear it like you said it and show me the picture of the girl. I need to see her and I need to hear it exactly like you said it right now and go.
Look,
because
at one point, well, we already know my longest relationship was with a white girl, but at one point, I wholeheartedly was that nigga that was like fucking white girls that y'all would not have approved of, but I wouldn't tell nobody, right? The reason I bring that up is because, like, what did you have to show these niggas that they was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck this white, a white bitch you ain't never met? I'm not, listen, I love black women.
Never met.
Death. I'm not coming to see one of y'all I ain't never fucking met. Fuck, what is we doing? And a nigga I don't know is taking me? Please.
Oh, white
she's not in the car. And she's not in the car. Right. She's not with him.
I'm just walking out to the liquor store. I'm bored. And
that like, even sounds like a setup, but at least if she was there.
Yeah. I think it was. I think he lied to the cops because the one time he told.
Because I feel like maybe he offered. I think that he might have done that one time, right. But I really feel like it was the heterosexual ruse might have been, hey, do you want to go hang out? I have drugs or drinks and we can kick it. Or, hey, do you want to go? I really think it was more of like, do you want to go do some bro shit? Yeah. Or, hey, do you want to go to my house? I have some, like the guy was saying his brother had a job offer and he was like, oh, this guy has in his yard or brush. Yeah, so I really feel like that ruse might have worked one or two times, but for 23 people, I just don't think for all of them to be dead, you were using that ruse. You had to have used something.
A picture and shit. That's so ridiculous.
Like you had to use something else. That worked on one person, maybe. Everybody else you offer drugs or like odd jobs to. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I feel you. Listen, I randomly one time got in a random white guy's car. No bullshit.
Oh my God, Penrose.
Listen, I had to go. We was working for AT&T and we was doing we was in this class to do DirecTV. And this white dude pulled up with his wife in the car and he was like, yo, my wife's sick. I'm a doctor from Chicago. I'm out here for conferences. They give us free tickets to the games and LeBron playing tonight. Who want to go? So, of course, every nigga was like, I'm not getting in the car with this nigga. I was like, shit, when you leaving? And luckily, it worked the fuck out. I was sitting like 4 seats behind LeBron and got the fucking liquor and got fucked up and it was cool. But I bring that up to say that you're right. Like, even in that sense and not even thinking on some weird shit, you offer me some bro shit. You couldn't have came to me and been like, I'm about to go to this gay bar and you want to come with me? Nah, nigga. Like, so how are you getting these heterosexual men to, because you can't make me believe that all these niggas seeing this picture of this white woman and was just like, fuck yeah, it's going
because down. Not every black man wants to fuck a white woman. So either you were
that's what I'm saying. Like, did you have multiple pictures? Like, what if a nigga like black girls? Like,
but the other part that's concerning about this is the town is so small that if somebody shows you a picture on their phone and says this girl wants
don't you know her?
Like, don't you know her? Like, why wouldn't you know who this person is? Like, that's the part that's concerning. If this bitch is fine enough for you to fuck in this town where it's 2,000 people, don't you already all know her?
Right. And you picking niggas up in Bayou Blue. You're not picking niggas up like in New Orleans for real. You're not going to Lafayette.
You still over there, kind of.
Mm-hmm. You in the town with 2,000 people, like.
And then he went to Mechanicsville, but that's like the hood, so I really don't know how often that white girl picture worked, and I really don't know how it worked with what's his name.
Real shit.
It's
like
confusing.
The Wayne Watkins shit. He said, because not Wayne Watkins, Wayne Smith, because August Watkins, but they even mentioned that he brought up, because what's the name brought this up too, he offered him money on some job type shit. Because remember, Wayne was on his bike, took his bike home, and then his mama said,
jumped in the car.
The nigga was gone. You know what I'm saying? You're not just making me believe that young 17-year-old boy was, even if he was gay, that he was that excited to go fuck your old ugly ass, or the fact that he was that excited to go fuck some white woman he ain't never met. The 17-year-old boy in the hood. Niggas don't start liking white girls until we fucking get out on our fucking own, and it's like touching the stove. You've been told not to do it forever. I'm gonna try it because ain't nobody here to tell me to stop. That little white boy, that little 17-year-old boy wasn't doing that shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, his parents fully expected him to be at home. When he dropped that bicycle off, they were like, I don't know what the fuck. So he had to have offered him something that he wasn't getting. So more than likely it was money. Like, he had to have been offering money in exchange for some type of job. The same with Nick's situation. And I think I can't remember, was it Nick that they said maybe knew him?
Because there was one exchange numbers.
Yeah, there was one person that they said knew him, and they had maybe worked together or something, and then he was texting him back and forth, and then invited him to hang out.
He met him. He was surveying houses, doing the meters, and Nick was doing some odd ass job, and they end up kicking it. And even then, it didn't sound gay when he was like, "Yeah, they just exchanged numbers." I mean, shit, you meet a nigga and for whatever on some bro shit, or maybe the nigga hit him with a job shit. You live in a small ass town where that type of shit happens. People make their life off of odd end jobs. So, you know.
And from what it sounded like, that is what Nick did. So that's not uncommon. So that tracks. That absolutely tracks. That maybe he was offering these people money for odd jobs. Because and I think it's just kind of shitty that the police were immediately kind of like, oh, they're all gay, and he met all these people at the gay bar, and they were all doing gay butt shit.
Or that they even believe that all the ones that they didn't think were gay fell for a picture. Like, that was really ignorant.
It was a bit insulting. And they just sat there with a straight face and said that, like, that ruse, like
that just works. Yeah, like, nah.
You had to preface that with, I don't think that he was being entirely honest, because that was a mess. Like, nobody.
Y'all have successfully killed my empathy for the cops. Fuck them.
Like, that's a lot. Like, I mean, and granted, they had a hard time, but then this is where we sit with the guy that's the journalist, and I did not get his name.
I don't have it either. Sorry.
But he made an excellent point by saying that when he tried to talk to the national news about this, they was like, hey, that's regional shit.
New York Times.
Oh yeah, New York Times was not interested. Like, that he was very insulted and confused. Like, how are you not interested in 23 people being killed? Like, by one person, like a serial killer.
Yeah, the son of Sam killed 7 people, and that story is still folklore to this fucking day. But this man killed 23 people,
and y'all don't want to hear about it.
And you don't want to talk about it because it ain't important. That's fucked up about our country. Them people down there ain't important to you enough to talk about it. Like,
yeah, he said there was another case where a mother killed her kids and the family pet, and that got more attention than the story about a serial killer who murdered 23 people. And I think a lot of it is because, like we talk about in a lot of these true crime documentaries, is that they are considered marginalized groups of people. So when we're talking about people that are poor, or people that are, are Black or Hispanic or undocumented or trans or gay, any of those
don't fit in the what's
right,
the word?
any of these people that are on the kind of marginalized bits of society, then that's not new. If it's not blonde hair and blue eyes, it doesn't lead.
A black man fucking committing a murder gets so much attention because that's what we're expected to do. But a black man getting murdered in those circumstances, it doesn't get the attention because that's not what that's gonna get the people. People love drama, and that's not enough to say, because think about it, making a murderer fucking took over Netflix forever. White people killing white people, but you killed a bunch of black people, and it's like, and it's in a place. This ain't even New Orleans, nigga. This is some made up town, really, that just got a name because you niggas wholeheartedly stick together and made it what it is.
So, right.
I mean, it wasn't important enough, and these people were not important enough, and I think that is very indicative it's very indicative of America, right? Like, I mean, and we say that, people always say, oh, well, America, this, that, and the third, but no, we have an issue with the way in which police people and the way in which we look at crimes and the ways in which detectives, by their own biases, personal biases or internal biases,
see criminals or determine who criminals are.
See criminals or see victims or feel like people are more or less deserving of them doing their job or more or less deserving of whatever, whatever ending happened to them. Like we see that all the time where like people that kill sex workers go undetected for 20 fucking years because sex workers aren't important.
There was a cop in Detroit.
Or people that have drug problems aren't important.
Look,
it was a cop in Detroit.
Poor people aren't important.
These black women were reporting that this dude would rape them or fondle them and then let them go. But they were all either drug addicts or sex workers. And when he finally got caught, he said, I only messed with those women because I knew y'all weren't going to believe them. This nigga was raping women for at least 2 years, 2 to 3 years. It wasn't a long span of time, but he raped a lot of women. And none of them ever got believed. Only one of them had their shit on police record that she came and talked to somebody. Like, they was like, man, these bitches lying. And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is. But yeah, so basically the last scene is Ronald Dominique finally fucking admitting, oh, okay, well, maybe they weren't trying to do that to me. Maybe I was trying to do that to them. And then after I did or I couldn't, I fucking did all of that.
Right. And again, not wanting to be considered a gay man, you killed the evidence technically.
Yeah. For somebody to say
that this nigga fucked me or he tried to or whatever.
Yeah, he much rather would murder 23 people than have someone be able to say, yeah, he had sex with me or he's gay or whatever. So, I mean, I think it's just wild that it didn't get any type of story because I will be very honest. Like, until I watched this, like, I think I had heard of Ronald Dominique, like, in passing once, maybe, but, like, had no, like, context or knew really anything about the story.
Yeah, when you talk about serial killers, his name has never been brought up.
Right, not when certainly not when you talk about, like the major
Bundys and the fucking, those people of the world.
Which is insane when you think about it, because a lot of people that we, that they look at as like serial killers didn't murder anywhere near 23 people.
Exactly. Think about
the insane part about it.
Like, what's the name? The Ronald dude that got away. I'm sorry, what was his name?
Ricky Wallace.
Ricky Wallace. I kind of, when I heard his story, I thought about the dude that got away from Jeffrey Dahmer, and the cops was like, nah, that shit ain't true. Like, that kind of led to catching Jeffrey Dahmer, but still, like, at least somebody.
He's outside naked and like numb because he poured battery acid in that child's brain, and those 2 black women were like, no, something is wrong here. Something is wrong. And he was able to come outside and be like, oh, no, listen to me. I'm this nice white man. Let me take my little colored concubine back inside.
Yep. And
I'm not going to get in that gay shit. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Especially back in the 90s, too, like 80s, early 90s, where gay just was not accepted. Yeah, they was there. I ain't fucking with that gay shit. He lying. This white man got to be right. And it kind of led to him being caught, but it kind of plays into the same thing with this dude when he lied and, like you said, he crying and acting like the victim. Privilege, regardless of anything, because like the mom said, like, she said she wanted the death penalty because even though everybody says like him sitting on death row is more of a punishment to him because he's not going to make it in population, she said he probably ain't even in population. He probably in the jail in that room by himself and can't nobody touch him. And at the end of the fucking day, how is that really a punishment? You know what I'm saying? Like, you went to jail, everybody go to fucking jail, but we all know that niggas that done some horrible shit, you already know. If you rape kids, rape a woman, do anything like that, and you end up in population, the chances you surviving is slim. That's fuck.
And they know that, so they're going to put you in solitary.
Exactly. Niggas will rape other niggas in jail, but you come in jail for raping a woman or a child, nigga, they gonna try to kill you. And this nigga wholeheartedly killed 23 people, some of them being underage children, 16, 17, 15 years old, kids. And you sitting up in a room by yourself with a TV because Gym Pop is too dangerous for you? Nigga, please.
That's,
You're a murderer. Mm-hmm. There'd be nothing too dangerous for you. You like murder. Right. You gotta have to get it. You gotta get it like you live. Shit, that's what you want to do. Don't be scared now. You gotta be able to be a general population with everybody, but that's not how it goes. And so I agree with her. Fucking fry his ass. Oh well.
You raped the general population. You didn't rape motherfuckers that were not up in the. You know what I'm saying? Like, you went to the general population of people and picked that. Like, he said it. He's like, I was walking around enjoying the music that night, and then the urge came up. Yeah, I talked to some people, this, that, and the third, and then you kill him.
Right. Like, so, He's gonna be in there forever, right? Forever.
Yeah, because in Louisiana, one murder gets you life forever. There is no 20 years with parole, none of that shit. A murder gets you life.
Ass backwards down. It's ass backwards over there, but amen.
Yeah, but So, guys, that was Bayou Blue, and the way that we gave it to y'all. But basically, that's it. Like a lot of heaving and crying and hooping and hollering on those fake fucking audios.
Them white noise audios.
Yeah, a lot of people that you won't be able to understand exactly what they're saying.
Like a lot of people that if they still have Walkmans on, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I can see that. Listen to a cassette tape, I can see that. I
agree. I was amazed at the CD player. Like, nigga, I hooked the DVD player up, put that motherfucking Medea in. What?
Oh, good God.
Not Medea. Okay, so I happened to spin the wheel while we were sitting here. So do you guys want me to tell you what it is on air?
Yeah, so the people can know, they can watch it too.
Okay, so the next documentary that we're gonna do a week from today, right? Or next week? In 2 weeks.
We might as well get back on schedule.
Okay, well, what does that mean? So in 2 weeks, or go next week?
Well, I don't care.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, so
it will be next week. But if we're just gonna stick with 2 weeks, we just stick with 2 weeks. It is what it is.
It's literally up to y'all. It doesn't matter. So anyway, Audrey. Okay, so Audrey asked where we can watch this again. Again, Bayou Blue is on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Prime, yeah.
It's like an hour and like 15 minutes.
It's a short watch. So yeah, it's a short watch. It's pretty quick. Like we've drawn this out, but honestly, it's very concise. It's not bloody or gory. They don't do a lot of crime scene photos. You don't see any bodies or anything like that. So it's actually kind of a very decent watch. Short.
The most blood you see is what I thought would have been blood, but it's just rust stains on the pole where they found August Watkins.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty. It's a lot of interviews. Like you don't get a lot of gory whatever. So yeah, it's a decent watch for an hour and some odd minutes. It's not bad.
I'm not gonna front. The ending when they showed all those pictures, that shit kind of got me. When they showed the big blown up,
the whole big board,
picture to picture, I was just like, God damn.
It was a lot of fucking people, and a lot of them were black.
Yeah, most of them. I think it was like four or five white dudes. And again, for five people to come out of the same family, and you randomly pick these people. Again, this is a very small.
How small?
You know what I'm saying? Like
crazy.
She was even saying it like, yeah, that's my mama's nephew, and then that's my cousin, and the lady even said like, damn, 5 people out of my family, like, and why it take 23 people to die? Like that's what both the mamas said. Why it take 23 people in this small ass town for y'all to figure this shit out?
Figure it out.
Yeah. And a random occurrence of Ricky being like, nigga, I'm having night terrors. Let my mama randomly say something to a police officer.
Right.
I think probably would have never got caught.
Right. True shit. Okay, so Amazon Prime, Bayou Blue.
Check it out.
Enlighten Us is our next one that's come up on the thing. It's on Netflix. Enlighten Us. I will give y'all a quick I'll give you the Netflix synopsis. Documentary digs deep to recount the saga of the superstar self-help guru convicted of negligent homicide and the death of 3 followers.
Yes, I recall. There's actually a podcast about that as well. So
yeah, so it's on Netflix and you guys can watch it. So whenever we figure out we come back, maybe next week now.
We'll do that. About gurus, this should be a good one.
Yeah, that's actually what the name of the podcast is. It's called The Dark Side of Gurus. It's actually what it is.
Wow. Well, we're going to knock it out in one episode.
Right.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Chris. That's BJ.
Right there.
That's Penrose. We're all backed up. See you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
Peace. Glass.